Starfield just got a bunch of collaboration leaks, as well as a potential special edition. We also have some comparisons to Fallout 4 that are pretty interesting, and we need to talk about some of the upcoming events as well. But let's just get on to it. What's up, World Tribute? Back in another video, today we're checking out all things Starfield. And first up, we do have some energy drink collaborations that seem to be going on in the background. One has been officially announced, and that is from the company Lucozade, which of course makes an energy drink, but it's in the UK and not the US. So seemingly this is a UK only promotion. However, we do have a credible leak that might apply to the US, and seemingly a different company that is more US bound, as opposed to this energy drink, which I have never heard of, and yeah, it just seems like it's just out of the UK. But the one that was leaked was actually from Rockstar, and Rockstar Energy to be specific. Now the Rockstar one also looks pretty authentic. Of course, the Lucozade one is the only authentic one announced so far, but I'm assuming we're gonna have one from Rockstar as well. And yeah, I mean, everything on the can looks to be almost it's very professional, very well done. So I doubt that this is kind of like a fake leak or anything of that nature, although the banding around the top did look a bit fake because it's just like the white and the top section and then the silver can at the bottom, where someone could then put a sticker over it, kind of make their own can design. But no, I don't think so. This one looks way too ingrained with the image, and everything else on the back side is a bit different, as well as the placement of the Xbox logo and even a QR code. Now I also did try to scan that QR code, but it is too blurry and I did get an error. Although maybe you guys are able to decrypt it and see what it means. And now getting back to Lucozade very briefly, I did go to the website and I couldn't find anything on there about these sales of these cans, at least the ones that are in the promotion. And I even went into their new upcoming section and they aren't there either. So again, maybe this is going to be set out way closer to release, and this is not something that's even being thought of right now, which does make a lot of sense. I just figured it might be under the new upcoming section. I also checked Rockstar Energy, and yeah, of course there's nothing there either. But we did have another credible leak, and that is the Starfield Special Edition that leaked on one of the Chinese forum websites. And again, this looks way too professional for it to be custom made, although there is someone trying to debunk it, claiming that this isn't real. But I think it is, because there's already been several rumors about Xbox having a special edition for Starfield. So this would all align with everything else, and this is just the controller for it. Again, I'm going to assume that there also is a console there too, since this is a special edition, so I'm assuming they're also going to make one of those as well. And the controllers, yeah, they look pretty good. And for the icing on top, they also have it positioned on a Master Chief statue. So more than likely, this is like either the Chinese official Microsoft Studio or what have you. Seeing as they kind of put the 2 and 2 together, Bethesda is now under Microsoft, it does make sense. So this is definitely a very credible leak, and again, the controller is very professionally done and looks nice, so it seems like this is actually a real leak. And this leak just happened about maybe 15-20 minutes ago, so there hasn't been any news or updates from any of the branding accounts like Xbox or Starfield. No one's pointed anything out yet. A lot of times when things like this leak, sometimes brands will come out and say something and sometimes they won't. They probably wanted to showcase this off at the June Direct Showcase. Which is on to our next topic. There's only 69 days left until that showcase, which again is happening on June 11th. And that will be the deep dive into the game, and hopefully we'll get everything that we thought we were going to get. Now, I had a video a couple weeks ago where I talked about maybe a potential announcement, and that ended up did happening, but it ended up being an announcement for an announcement to then talk about when the showcase was going to happen. So it kind of led off to like something, and some of the leaks there were sort of credible, but they were more so a little bit off. Now, I also wanted to talk about some of the Fallout 4 comparisons, especially that to the rating. And I did talk about this before, however, I didn't compare the two ratings. And they seem to be pretty close to each other, however, there are a few marks that align kind of farther out, especially the skooma use, and as well as some of the fun time stuff that is completely gone from Starfield. There's no more fade to black screen or anything of that nature, it seems like. And everything else seems to be pretty aligned with each other, aside with the unclothed category, which also has a little tiny minor bump up. Again, although I have heard that in recent years, Australia has become a little bit more increasingly restrictive with certain things. So who knows, maybe there's no actual real world difference in this game, and it's just as far as Australia has kind of changed their laws a little bit and kind of how they grade these games. But we'll have to see. Again, And it seems nice that it is aligning with the other games as far as most of the other categories, so we shouldn't be getting too shafted on anything else. Now we do also have to talk about the Starfield showcase aligning with E3. It's seemingly because E3 was just cancelled a few days ago, it seems like now Starfield and the Xbox Game Showcase are going to be a double feature. Essentially, both of these things will align with each other, which does make a lot of sense there. It really does suck that E3 is cancelled. I was actually a big fan of it. It was kind of like our time of the year, or like the gamers' Christmas. I just enjoyed seeing new games on display, and I get that it's kind of set in an archaic manner, an archaic way. However, I'm still going to miss the E3 showcases, and in the recent years they did get pretty bad, and their ratings overall probably dropped tremendously. And yeah, the showcases just haven't been the same, especially since pre-2020. Even maybe a bit sooner than that, but I would attribute that a lot to how the games are made today. They just aren't made with the same quality that they were back in like 2014 and earlier, which is sad to see, but hopefully gaming does make a turnaround and maybe we even get E3 back. Now, we did have a few questions by the Reddit, and I was also curious about these as well, but people talked about how many companions did we get and what were the confirmation numbers on that. Also, the comparisons to older games like Fallout 4, which Fallout 4 had 16 total NPC companions. However, this was with additional DLCs. Now, as for the confirmation, it seems like Todd Howard confirmed around 4 in-depth comparisons. However, I haven't been able to find out where this person found that information. So hopefully maybe you guys can pinpoint that out in the comment section. But I do think I remember him mentioning the companion count, and I do think I remember him saying around 4, as well as that robot dog that we're going to have, and that is not included in the companion count number, as it's just not being considered or counted in the normal companions, seeing as it's kind of more of an animal or a pet. There's also some talks around photo mode, and yeah, I think there's going to be a photo mode, especially for the console version of things. A lot of people for Hogwarts Legacy were much disappointed for that game, seeing as it didn't have its own built-in photo mode. However, if you're on PC, there is something called Ansel, and so if you have an NVIDIA graphics card, this allows you to basically use photo mode in any game that's on PC. Most games require Ansel if they're going to use NVIDIA drivers. And even Last of Us Part 2 has its own photo mode, but I can also use Ansel. However, Ansel seemed a little bit buggy with the normal photo mode. So if there is one, you'll probably just use the photo mode over Ansel itself. However, Ansel has some really cool features that I really enjoyed in Hogwarts Legacy, including turning the game engine on and all these different cool effects and filters that I really did appreciate, and usually have a lot more so than the default photo editor in most games. So we'll have to see what happens there, and hopefully we do get a photo mode for you guys, because I know, again, like I said, it was really a big concern / complaint for Hogwarts Legacy. But that does about cover for today's video, and if you enjoyed it, like and subscribe. And to the next one. Do.